Well, hello, my friends. This is a not live version of the Remodelers on the Rise show. Very often, our episodes over the last number of years have come through the route of going live on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. This one, I'm just recording in the little, it's called Riverside, little studio app that we use. And I'm just going to record this without your ability to comment. We'll see how that goes. I already miss you guys a little bit by doing it this way, but that's okay. The topic today that I wanted to dive into came to mind after a coaching call that I had earlier today. One of my longtime clients said, "Hey, Kyle, guess what? We are doing a better job on the initial phone calls, the initial calls that are coming in from prospective clients. They're reaching out to us because they might have an addition project or a kitchen project or a bathroom project. They're reaching out to us. And instead of just kind of rolling over if it sort of kind of sounds like a potentially good lead, we have been being a little bit more thorough and diligent and thoughtful with our initial conversation. Instead of this, yeah, we do work in that area, and yeah, that's a type of project we want, and let's set up a time, and being pretty lackadaisical with it, they have recommitted and gotten to a point where they're really walking people through a more thorough process. Some may say even a little bit more thorough qualifying process. Qualifying a lead is not a bad thing. It's an okay thing to say and to have a process for. The big thing that they have started to do is they've started to have a little bit more of a frank and open discussion related to the project budget. A lot of people who are considering a remodeling project, thinking about doing a project on their home, a lot of them are curious and not sure and wondering, how much is this going to cost? What am I going to need to invest in this project? That is a question and a conversation that is going on in the minds of so many of the prospective clients that reach out to you. And from your end of things, it is your responsibility and your role, and you're very well within your ability to be able to educate them on that conversation. How do we educate our prospective clients on how much a remodeling project could potentially cost? So that's kind of the theme of what I wanted to talk about just for the next 10 minutes or so. It's kind of a quick episode today. Answering this question and helping prospective clients understand, how much is this going to cost? All right. So, a couple tools that I wanted to bring up and remind you of, and a couple examples that I wanted to also be able to show you. So, if you're watching this via the YouTube link, etc., you'll be able to see my screen. If you're listening to the podcast audio version of this, we will have a link to the YouTube version. If you'd like to click that, you may. But even if you're just listening to audio, you'll be able to follow along just fine and dandy. So, one of the tools that you have at your disposal is something called the cost versus value report. Remodeling Magazine has created this and published this every year for a long, long while. I was talking to one of my clients, Tony Dixon, with Premier Building and Remodeling, and this was a couple weeks ago, and he reminded me of how valuable this cost versus value report can be. What it is based on specific areas. So the one that I have pulled up is for the Grand Rapids, Michigan area. There are the project types. So, for example, there is a minor kitchen remodel. There's a major kitchen remodel that's kind of mid-range, and then there's a major kitchen remodel that's more upscale. So, for example, the job cost of a major kitchen remodel, mid-range, kind of mid-range finishes, is $81,275, and a major kitchen remodel upscale, we are upscaling this and using some really fine finishes, is $158,829. Major difference. They come out to about $80,000 difference. And then there's a minor kitchen remodel. It's kind of mid-range. It's only $26,000. So just in the section that's talking about kitchen remodels, there's three very different job costs. And the cost versus value report on the preceding pages of this gives a little description of what does it mean that it is a minor kitchen remodel mid-range. This is a third party tool that you can use as you're educating and having the conversation with your prospects of how much does it cost to remodel. I've found that a lot of my clients, especially just a professional remodeling business, you have thought about your numbers, you understand where you need to be job costing and how you're pricing your work. I have found that a lot of my professional remodeling clients have found this cost versus value report to be pretty well in the ballpark of what they're seeing for different projects and the cost of different projects. The other thing that this cost versus value report does is it shows that if you did a major kitchen remodel, kind of mid-range, and you spend $81,000 on it, you're going to see about $30,000 increase in the value of your home. Cost versus value, the value being the value of your home. You kind of recoup 37% right off the bat. So that's kind of an interesting aspect of this. It's showing for a minor, you're going to recoup on that $26,000, $22,000, meaning you're doing some minor things. You have perhaps even painted. In that case, these are small little projects. You may have painted the cabinets and redone the countertops. That is going to enhance the value. It won't be great, maybe long term, but it can be something that might be a good investment if you're looking to get out of the home quickly or keep things very not big of an investment. So this tool, cost versus value report, it comes out every single year. Look it up, costversusvalue.com. Find your local area, download it, study it. I have a lot of clients who use this as a kind of unbiased third-party way to get into educating on the conversation of how much is it going to cost. Another way that you can approach this that I wanted to also show you is something that longtime clients and somebody that's really active in the Remodelers community Facebook group. If you go to Remodelers with an S community.com, you can join that wonderful Facebook group. I think we're just about up to 1,600 wonderful members in it. Did I mention it's free? And it's awesome. Check it out. But if you go to Paul McManus's website, McManus, McManus, kitchenandbath.com, and you click on recent projects, you will see something that you will rarely see on any other remodeler's website across the fruited plains of the old US of A. You will see Paul having taken and him and his team taken a lot of time and thought on really creating a detailed and thorough project spotlight for each of their projects. And you'll notice as you look, just even on the first line, you'll see a kitchen and butler's pantry, and it has a cost next to it, $228,756. Next to that, you'll see a $111,000 project. Next to that, you'll see a mid-century modern kitchen remodel in North Tallahassee for $168,000 and change. You'll see a transitional kitchen remodel in East Tallahassee for $99,000 and change. Wait, this is a professional remodeler who is putting out the details of what each of their projects cost. This is kind of weird. And you'll see that he has very much invested in this thought process. As you scroll down, you'll see he's been doing this for years. Now, before I click on it and show you more details on it, what is his strategy here? His strategy here is to show people just on if they spend any time on this at all, they see that the price of 4 different kitchens here ranges from $99,000 up to $228,000. That when you talk to a prospect, it very much depends on their project, on what they're looking to have done, on the design that goes into it, on the fixtures and the selections that they make. This project's going to have quite a bit of a ballpark range. It also quickly emphasizes, as a next step, the importance of the design and project development phase of things. We can give you a ballpark range based on the project you're describing to us, based on similar projects that we've done in the past and just our years of experience. We'll be able to give you a ballpark range. But in order to do this properly and to get you more of a firm price, we need to walk you through our design and development process. Here's what that looks like, and here's what we charge for that. But it really gets that conversation out there. It helps qualify leads, it helps educate leads. And when you click on one of them, you'll see the depth that Paul goes into related to each and every project. He is describing kind of the main features of the project. He is getting into a project overview. These homeowners are young parents, and we're trying to create a beautiful and durable home for their children to grow up in. While the layout stayed mostly the same, we did make sure important tweaks like a bigger island and a bar area happened. Just a nice little description of who these folks are and what they were looking to do. They have a nice little before and after. If you go here, you'll see this, and you're watching the video. How cool is that little before and after tool? What it is there's a little slider. You click on it, and when you drag it to the left, it shows the after shot, and when you drag it to the right, it shows the before shot. It's super, super cool. By the way, if you wanted to look that up, it's called Seed Prod, SEEDPROD.com. It's a WordPress plugin that you can use. Very cool. So it shows kind of the before and after of the project. It shows the before and after of the floor plan. Buckle up, because he gets into the details here, folks. Before and after the floor plan. Talks about 2 big improvements they made to the floor plan. He has a section that says our favorite updates. Here's what we love the most about this project. New home bar, and highlights that. Highlights the espresso cabinet. Highlights the tall cabinet with adjustable rollouts. They highlight those things. Scrolling down, here's start to finish pictures from the project. Here's timeline, challenges, and solutions. We had the project start on May 16th, estimated completion of September 28th, actual completion August 26th. Well, that's pretty impressive. They actually finished a lot quicker. So, and they describe how that happened. You keep scrolling down, there's the project cost. Here was the initial budget. Here's the change orders. Here's the fixed price proposal, which is about $21,000 more than the initial budget. And here's the final project cost. And they educate them on how timelines and budgets can change and increase during design and development. Let me pause here. So what you're seeing here, and the main thought that I have for you in what I'm presenting to you here, is people are thinking about how much does it cost? What is the investment going to look like? You need to be thoughtful about that. You need to educate homeowners about that. You have a tool like the cost versus value report at all of your disposals. Go to costversusvalue.com, download it, study it, learn how to present it. You have examples of your projects. I'm showing you this example. I could also just show you this very simple one. Paul has a full page that he's dedicated to it. Here's just a simple little PowerPoint slide that still needs some tweaking and maybe some design, but this project shows the before of this kitchen. It shows the after of this kitchen. It shows some of the design of the pantry cabinets. A little description, and it shows that this project cost $134,000 and did not include kitchen flooring, range hood, or appliances. And if you just take a simple page like this, you can take projects that you've done. Maybe you take 3 kitchens that you've done in the last 6 months, and you show that this one cost $75,000, this one was $110,000, this one was $140,000. Now you're showing them just specific examples. You're not pulling these numbers out randomly, and you're educating them on projects can range all over the place. It depends on so many design and selection and details about your home and what you're looking to accomplish. Now, can I tell you about project design and development and how that process works for us? So do you see this, remodeler? Are you seeing why I'm bringing this up? I want you to be thoughtful and perhaps take a little bit of action on using the cost versus value report or creating some of these project spotlights that can be very helpful as you have conversations with prospects. That's the main point. And if I scroll back down over to McManus, he has a cost breakdown of what percentage of the project was fixtures and materials. He talks about selections, just really, really detailed, good stuff. When people fill out his contact us form, they say things like, hey, we checked that out. They've already thought through the budget a lot more. And they say, you know, our house looks very similar to that transitional kitchen remodel in East Tallahassee. He sees that type of thing filled out related to the contact form and related to the project spotlights they're doing. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. I wanted you to think about how do we educate, and what kind of tools can we have at our disposal to better answer the questions that are going on in our prospects' heads of what is this going to cost? What does this investment look like? So those are a few of the tools that I wanted to highlight that hopefully you could take some action on and perhaps incorporate into your remodeling business. That's all I got for you today, folks. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for maybe even leaving a review on your favorite podcast app. And feel free to reach out to me anytime. If you go to remodellersontherise.com, there's a lovely little contact us page on there where you can reach out to me and with any questions or to inquire on how I can help you further in your remodeling business. Hope you're doing well. Keep working hard. You're doing great. You're making progress. Keep pushing forward. Talk to you later.